We've come to the end of a long day of judging here at Yahoo HQ in London for the M&M Global Awards 2016, and I'm delighted to say I'm joined by the chair of our judges, Ben Jankowski, the group head of media for MasterCard Global. Thank you very much for your time, Ben. It's been a long day, as you say, but how have you found the experience?
No, I mean, I think like everything, it's a long day, but it's a great day to see lots of amazing work, and today was no exception. There were a lot of campaigns that really stood out and were amazing. Almost all the work we're blessed. We're just seeing the shortlist, so we're seeing the best of the best. So it's a little bit easier for us to kind of make a decision. Looking at the videos and of the best work makes it easier to whittle it down, and it was great.
From your perspective, were there any common trends or themes that you were seeing across the categories and entries?
No, I think that we've kind of evolved. I think as we have more technology, more data, more information, I think our ability to be able to tie to results is getting a little bit better. Mm-hmm. Our ability to show off how we can use technology to target uniquely, deliver content. I mean, all those trends that we talk about, technology, content, measurement, I mean, all those things come out in results. I mean, now the more people are, starting to play with data and information and content, we see better awards. If we looked at this compared to, the shortlist entries 10 years ago, you'd probably have a very different, look. It probably, back then, it would probably be more, style and pizzazz and entertainment value of a piece of video that we saw rather than, hardcore results and things like that. Mm-hmm. So I think it's great.
Sorry. Yeah. Let's talk about some of the successful campaigns then
Sure.
that we've just seen, and the campaign of the year is going to go to Ariel for some of its work in India particularly. Yep. And what do you think about that campaign that was really resonated with the judges?
I think it was a lot of things. I think it's like if you looked at who they targeted, they targeted a very hard to reach audience. They targeted rural, couples in a very underdeveloped market. So, I mean, technology, things like that. I mean, the technology they used, literally putting the 800 number on packets of, product, is so low tech it was almost, it's magical, right? So, but being able to distribute that many packets to be able to get that much results. That many results, that many people making phone calls to their loved ones to communicate was cool. So they kind of married the old school nature of putting an 800 number on a product pack to using cell phone technology to be able to engage couples who've been separated because they're trying to do good for their families. It was on a lot of levels it made a lot of sense and it was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Which other campaigns were you particularly fond of, or you feel really tackled the brief particularly well?
I think that there were some really interesting ideas. I mean, Vodafone was entered in a couple categories. Deutsche Telekom had a really cool mobile game which helped dementia research. San Andreas, which was a movie, which you think that the influencer and the star of the marketing was the star of the movie, but in fact it was the actual influencers, which were the real heroes, which were the people the people who serve and protect us in Latin America, which were called out. So there were some really cool examples like that. So San Andreas and Vodafone had a few entries. Those are the ones that kind of stood out. Canada was another one which did a really cool job. The Canadian one actually, the judges appreciated the fact that they were shortlisted in 4 categories and produced 4 unique videos, which for a judge having to see the same video 6 times, which we saw today, it tires at you. So if you're entering awards, the more you can customize your videos. There were some that just weren't customized, and they pay and they suffer for that, because if you're entered in a category that's about best use of data, and then you're also entered in a category for something like best use of social or best B2C campaign, it's really hard to have that same piece of film work for both of those. So I mean, the guys in the Explore Canada, they did an amazing job of producing 4 unique videos, which helped them, because it was like they got to the point of what the category was.
And so to media and marketing companies who are potentially watching this, looking at the 2017 award entries and thinking about how they're going to try and optimise those to stand the best chance of winning, customisation, looking at the category itself, what other sort of words of advice would you have for them?
No, I mean, I think that be really focused on, obviously it's got to have a great idea. I mean, think about the video. I mean, there were some videos didn't have voiceovers. There were videos that were just video music. There was some awful, there were some pretty bad videos in there. But some of them were, think about the audience, try to make it engaging, focus on the results, focus on the category that you're talking about. And I know the videos cost a lot of money. I mean, think about what you're creating. Spend your time editing rather than spend your time creating, because I think that some of those cases took the same content and just kind of spliced it up in different ways, and it was a lot more powerful than a couple other examples would have done wonders by just editing and twisting it a little bit, which they didn't take advantage of that opportunity.
And final question, really.
Yep.
I mean, from your own perspective and for your own role, how is a day like today, I guess, beneficial? What does it help you with in terms of your own day job?
Sure. No, I mean, it's inspiring to see, because again, all of our challenges are the same challenges. How do I use technology? How do I engage consumers? How do I, find new ways to measure success? So seeing all these things is inspiring and, gives you some ideas to, go back home and, apply. So it was great.
Well, thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate it, and thank you for speaking to us now.
No worries. Thank you.
Thank you.